Welcome back to Ask Roy. We've been off the air for a couple months, but we're back on, and I want to welcome you to the show. We're here at in Bel Air, filming on location. This is Stacy Highsmith. She's my new co-host and one of my best friends. She's going to be asking me some questions about life, about sex, about food.
About everything. So
Yeah.
basically, we've contacted some of Roy's biggest fans, and we've had them ask him questions. So I have those questions. I have them written down, and we're going to see what's up.
For those of you who are tuning in for the first time and haven't seen Ask Roy, it's basically a show about advice. It's almost like Ann Landers, but in an awkward kind of wise answer type of feedback. Okay, I was a very bad student. I didn't do very well in school. My teachers nicknamed me Wise, or Wise Cat, because I always had wise answers. So I was very life smart, but not book smart. So
So there we go.
yeah.
All right, so our first question from your wonderful fans is, what would you be doing if you weren't related to Chelsea Handler?
Well, I was cooking for a while. And
You're asked to be back in Jersey.
I know. I would be back in Jersey. Yeah, probably. But I was doing pretty well in Jersey before she called me out. Actually, I was doing a lot. Well, no. I was pretty much doing the same thing.
Before she called you out to sit in the pool in Bel Air.
Well, this is pretty
Roy
nice.
was a chef in Jersey,
Yeah.
doing really well for himself.
No, I worked at it. In 20 years, I had like maybe 6 jobs. So I stayed at my jobs a long time. I was a really, really good chef. I was a stickler for putting
Roy
good
has
food
some
on.
serious feet damage, though, that he's failing to mention.
Right, because I wore Timberlands when I was cooking all the time.
And
Instead
he
of
was-
wearing foot things that you have to wear, you know, orthopedic shoes that you have to wear in the kitchen when you're walking on cement all the time.
And you'd be on your feet, what,
work-
like 10 hours, 12 hours a day?
Yeah, at least 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah. Roy has some beautiful feet that he'll have to show you at some point. Whenever you see him on the street, wherever, just say, hey, can I see your feet?
Okay,
It's pretty
first of
amazing.
all, I have beautiful feet. If you look at the feet from this angle, they're beautiful, no? I have really good looking feet. It's just the underside of it
Yeah.
are a little rough, that's all.
We've been,
No?
we've been transported to India with Roy's feet.
Look
When
at
you
those
really
feet. That could be on the
when
cover.
you-
I could be on the
when you
cover
look at them
Foot
closely.
Monthly.
He's got a little bit of, what's that, when your limbs are falling off?
When your
Okay.
limbs are falling off, that's called autism. Isn't
Anyway,
it?
no, stop it.
Look at those feet. Look at that. Could be Foot Magazine, no?
Okay, so why are you so attracted to women of color? Roy has a tendency to usually only date black women, Dominican women, women of color. So this is it's an interesting question I'd like answered myself.
Well, I'm going to go back into the history part of it and go to my father. My father had a gas station in Newark, New Jersey, and he worked in the black section of Newark. And he was around blacks all the time.
Here we go. Here we
And
this
he
is
was
not gonna
gone.
be
He
good.
was gone all
This is
day.
not gonna be good.
He
This
was
is gonna be bad. I'm shutting it down right now.
No,
Next.
no. This is a legitimate answer.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So
What's
he
your-
was around
working in the
people all the
black
time.
section of Jersey
There's
with
a
the black
blacks.
people.
It was all Newark. It was during the riots.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Because that's the only time black people. There was a black section was during the riots. Okay, but anyway, go
Wait,
ahead.
what? Just
No, 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 no,
relax.
please.
Just relax. Every time I bring up any kind of race thing, you play that card, okay? So just relax.
really?
Take it easy.
All right.
Let me explain my story.
God
At the end of the
forbid.
story, you can.
All right, comment. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Don't be
dying
so
to hear this.
sensitive. So anyway, he was always hanging out in Newark, and we never saw him until the garage closed down because of the riots, and then he came home. He spent the rest of his career at the house, but he was always around black people.
Look how hard it was
I'm
for you to
afraid
say that.
to say it because you're gonna jump down my throat. So anyway,
Anyway,
it transferred. I look just like my father. So whenever I go anywhere, and I'm like walking down the street or I'm in a store, and there's 5 women coming at me, and one of them is black, the 4 women will go right past me. The black woman will turn around.
because
and
you
follow
look like
me.
your father.
No,
that
there's
why?
something about blue eyes. There's something about my head. There's something about they just
We must
they just
connect with that.
navigate towards me.
Must-
I
must-
met you for the first time, and you
Must
were
be-
all over me.
Oh my God.
Remember
you have
that?
got
That was
to be
at Rachel's-
delusional.
Rachel's-
Okay, anyway, we're moving on to the next question because you've obviously lost your mind.
I gave you
Anyway.
a legitimate answer. What do you? There's no feedback on that. Give me
No,
some feedback.
because that's because you've gone into delusional land. I have no feedback for that. What was your best sexual experience?
My best sexual experience? Well, that would have been a couple years ago. here in the marina.
That would have been 2 days ago
No.
with yourself. Is
No,
that
it
what
was
you're
an
trying
ex.
to
It was with an ex-girlfriend, and we came home one day, and then we just went all around the house and had away with each other, and it was
say?
fun.
You went around this house?
No, we were living. We were living in. This is my sister's house, by the way. So. No, we.
You went around Chelsea's house like that?
No, I had an apartment in the marina, and we went at it for 45 minutes all around the apartment. We went to each room and just went off on each
And
other.
so what was your best position in that
Okay,
experience?
first of all, I'm not going to get into positions.
Oh,
okay?
really?
What was your
Oh,
best
really?
position?
You get into everything
There
else.
was a lot of great positions. I don't know my best position. I just
No, I
felt
just mean
comfortable.
for that day. That day. Come on, think back.
The best position?
Yeah. Just for that woman, that experience.
I don't know what
Trying to take
position.
you back there.
Just, I don't know what position you call it. You just
From behind?
From behind was good, yeah.
Okay, good. That's all I need to know. All right, so who is your hero?
Who wrote these questions?
Nobody wrote them. I got them from fans of yours.
Oh, really? It
Yes.
sounds kind of.
No, I have nothing to do with this.
Aren't there any food questions?
No, who is your hero? That's your next question.
My hero
Nobody
is Willie
cares about your
Mays.
food.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays?
Who-
Oh.
Yes, another black person.
I like how you take a hiccup before saying black. This is for another.
Well, what should
black
I say?
person.
African American? Is that correct?
No, but you're scared and you should be. I like
I'm
that.
scared because you're telling
Yeah.
me to be scared.
That's
I'm not
right.
scared, but I would go around doing it myself.
You should be
What
very.
about Willie Mays? Do you know
should
who
be-
Willie Mays is?
Of course I know who Willie
Who
Mays
is it?
He's a baseball player.
He is a baseball player, or
He
he
was
was a baseball player?
I know
and
he's
who did
not
he play
alive.
for?
I don't know, but I know he was amazing.
He played for the San Francisco Giants and the
Exactly.
New York Giants.
There you go.
Okay, he was the best baseball player ever.
He's amazing.
And he played for the Mets at the end of his career. and they
Willie
took him to the World
Mays is
Series.
brilliant. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're talking about him right now. Okay, so now talk about your sexual blue cheese story. No, that is from me.
Okay, this story seems to be getting a lot of airtime. Back in New
Because it's
Jersey,
brilliant.
about I would say 12 years ago, when the computers first came out, I was online and I met this girl. And you know how when you talk to people online, you get attracted to them without seeing them because you have this easy conversation. You don't have to go out. You don't have to spend any money. You just talk to them. So I talked to this girl for 3 months online. She lived in Connecticut. She had a kid. She was divorced. She wasn't great looking, but we had this good chemistry together. So one day she pressured me. I was okay with not meeting her for a while because she wasn't that pretty. And I didn't want, well, not that would sound kind of bad, but she.
Really, you think?
Yeah.
What,
But I mean, I was
why
okay
would
with
you
not
think
meeting
that?
her, but then I actually I rented a house for the weekend in Litchfield, Connecticut, where Henry Kissinger lives.
Oh, and good
For-
to know.
for two-
It's very important. Very important to know
For
that.
2 days. It's a really nice section of Connecticut. And I said, okay.
It's Henry Kissinger's neighborhood. So that's the whole point of the story, really.
So we
don't
went-
really need to know anything else.
So I told her I rented this house, and she was like, oh, that's great, that's great. You know, we could spend some time together. And first time we met, I went over to her house. She's living with her parents. I picked her up. And we drove to Litchfield, which was like 45 minutes away. Got
The
this
story's going to be an hour long.
beautiful house. Just relax.
You just got to the chase.
Beautiful house.
It's a blue cheese story, mind you. Remember that?
A beautiful house. We made dinner. We screwed around in the kitchen. We didn't fuck or anything, but we screwed around. And then towards the end of the night, we bought ourselves silk robes, like Hugh Hefner robes that he walks around in. So she got into her robe, went downstairs on the couch, and I got in my robe, and I started walking down the stairs slowly to her in my Hugh Hefner robe. And she was laying on the couch. So I went over to her. I started kissing her. Then I started, going down on her, and all of a sudden I got this huge, huge smell of blue cheese. And I was like, okay, it's not, I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to smell like that. But I was so desperate at that time to get some pussy, I just went for it. I was like, I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm gonna go for it. If it's bad, it's bad, but I'm just gonna go for it. So I went for it, and it was pretty bad, and we spent the night together. And the next morning I woke up and I'm making breakfast.
But how sweet is it that you spent the night with her after that?
What am I supposed to do? Walk out and it says your pussy smells? And
that
what am I
you
supposed to say then?
stayed after that
I'm
experience.
supposed to walk out. I was in Litchfield, Connecticut.
I don't know. So blue cheese happening? I don't know.
It smelled like blue cheese. It smelled like crumbled
that's
blue
a lot.
cheese. So I went the next morning to make breakfast, and I'm eating breakfast, eggs and juice,
And blue cheese?
all I tasted in my mouth was blue cheese. I couldn't taste any eggs. I couldn't taste any juice. I couldn't taste anything. All I could taste was blue cheese. Like, well, that's weird. I washed out my mouth. I did everything, and I was like, okay. So the end of the day, I took her home. I went back to my house in Jersey, and I was thinking, this taste has got to get out of my mouth, and it didn't get out of my mouth for like 3 weeks. I was worried
But you
as
kept
shit.
dating her, though, didn't you?
Online, yes. I never told her what happened, but I was like,
Is that
this
called desperation?
pizza, and I would have, like, my mom would make me stuff, and I would taste blue cheese all the time. So I completely lost the taste in my mouth. I couldn't taste
And you guys
anything.
remain friends to this day.
Yes, we did. So I went to the doctor. I finally went to the doctor, and I told him, I said, listen, it's been 3 weeks. All I taste is blue cheese. I lost all my taste buds. And he's like, what did you do? I said, I went down on this girl, and she had a really bad smelling pussy.
So you told your doctor this. You went to your doctor and
Yeah.
had to report this story.
Yeah. Well, what am I supposed to do? I went 3 weeks without tasting stuff. I thought I was losing my senses,
Your taste buds?
my taste buds.
Your senses and your taste buds.
So I went there, and the doctor's like, well, first lesson you do is when there's something going on down there, you don't want to go down on it.
You don't want to proceed.
Yeah.
It's the whole smell.
Right. So
101.
anyway, he goes, he gave me something, some kind of prescription, and he said, you should be fine. It'll go away. It's just hanging around for a long time. And remember, whenever you do that, you got to wash your mouth out right away. And the next day, actually,
So
it did
you're
go
actually
away.
like teaching a whole sexual lesson for everyone. Whenever you do that, you have to wash your mouth out right away. Okay? Health 101, just for all you kids out there. FYI. Take it from Roy Handler,
Sometimes
reporting live from Bel Air, that you have to wash your mouth out right away.
It's true.
Okay, we learn something new every day.
I
Wonderful
was desperate.
story.
I was desperate.
And you said we didn't incorporate food into this.
Okay, well, that wasn't
Broadcast.
food. It was, it was
It's blue
different.
cheese.
It tasted like food, but it wasn't
Okay,
food.
so how old were you when you had your first sexual experience?
I believe, besides masturbating,
Yes, with someone else.
let me see. I would say I was about 16 or 17 years old.
16 or 7. So you
Yes.
can't remember?
No, I remember, but I don't remember how old I was.
Okay. Now, have you ever, speaking of food, have you ever incorporated food into your whole romantic sort of sexual?
I haven't done that. I've done whipped cream and strawberries and little stuff like
Oh,
that.
so the
but
stuff
I
that
haven't-
everybody does.
I haven't eaten like eggs off an asshole or anything like that.
Eggs off an asshole.
Yeah.
That should be a whole new recipe.
You could put eggs
That'll
on
be coming up.
asshole. Eat breakfast
Chef
on it.
Handler's going to be on Chopped soon. So that might be something that he might feature. Eggs on an asshole. Look for that. Okay.
Have you ever
Now-
done anything like that?
No, but I'm not a chef, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
necessarily.
but have you ever incorporated food into your
I
sexual
I
encounter?
love food in the whole. I
Oh,
love
do
food
you?
in everything.
You never told me that.
Food in everything. Food.
Really?
Food works with everything. I'm a food nut. I should be eating right now. Okay. Now, have you
Good to
ever
know.
hit a woman or come close to being physically abusive with a woman?
Have I ever hit a woman? No, I've
This
yelled
is a
at...
revealing moment. I feel like it's a
No.
Dr. Phil moment.
I have never, ever hit a woman. I hit my sister,
you-
I think, once.
With all of them?
No, just Chelsea.
Okay. Now, so have you ever come close?
No, I mean, I've thought about it. I've thought about, like, when the girls wear those blue Bluetooth,
Bluetooth?
I feel like punching them in the face. I can't.
Just in general.
I
Just-
can't
do you know how
stand
many women wear those
I know
all the
that's,
time?
That's pretty annoying.
You're pretty sociopathic then.
That's not a sociopath.
If you want to hit all
take a
women that
look at
wear
yourself.
Bluetooths, that's
Take a look at
that's
yourself
the
when
mind
you're
of a
walking in the
sociopath.
street and you're talking like an idiot. I mean, who talks to themselves in the street?
Well, who wants to hit everybody that's wearing a Bluetooth? That's a lot
I
of
didn't say I'm
people.
going to hit them. I just said I was going to punch them in the face.
And that's different than hitting.
Okay, first of all,
Okay.
I haven't done it. I've thought about it.
Okay,
I've never
that's
hit.
fine,
I've never
that's
hit
fine.
a woman.
That's fine. That's good to know. I'm glad I don't wear Bluetooth. Okay. Now, what is the most disgusting thing that has ever happened to you?
The most disgusting thing.
Yeah.
I came home from feeding the staff at the studio once.
This is Chelsea lately.
Yeah, I cook for the studio 3 times a week. So I came home one day, and I was pretty proud of the food I served. And I went, this is the time we were living in Mandeville by Brentville. What the fuck are you laughing
Because
at?
I know this story.
All you guys did to open my mouth and she starts giggling.
Because
Are
I
you-
know these stories. I know the backstory. Go ahead.
Do you know this story? I don't think I've told you this story.
Okay, let's see. Go ahead.
I came home from Mandeville once, okay, and I was proud because I served the food. Everybody loved the food. And I went into my room at the Mandeville house, which I was living with my sister. And I came in, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, you did a really, really good job. I mean, that was great. You should be proud of yourself. And I was thinking this stuff. I wasn't talking to myself out loud. I was just thinking that. I was like, you know, nice job, nice job. And then I farted, like, and I was like, oh, you know, and I didn't think anything of it until something rolled down my leg, and I was looking at myself in the mirror. And I'm like, was that a fart or no?
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
what am I doing? This is like, I'm only 48. Am I shitting in my pants now? Is this what it's come to? So I look on the thing, and there's like, it's like two ping pong balls of like, you know, like I took a dump in my pants standing up.
Wow.
And I was,
This is great. This is good stuff. 40. See, we have to look forward to when you get to 48.
and I was like, did I just do that? I mean, what was that?
Were you by yourself?
I was by myself. I closed the door. I was like, oh God, this is embarrassing. I just took a dump in my pants. And that
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
I don't know what happened. It just happened.
I don't know what happened either.
I mean,
I don't know what
you have
happened.
embarrassing stories too. These are things that shouldn't go
That's-
public, but
it's
you just
not.
asked me,
Well,
so I'm
it's
telling
just-
you, it's
it
pretty.
has gone public. And
it's
my
pretty
embarrassing stories aren't like that.
Oh really?
They're not. No,
I'm
not
sure
me
you have a couple.
shitting
there.
on myself. No, it's not. No, I can't relate
Okay, first
to
of
that.
all, I didn't shit on myself.
You
It was a
totally shit
fucking
on yourself.
accident.
You shat on yourself, as they say.
Okay, that's stuff that happens all the time. It's a natural
no,
thing.
I don't think so. I think you're wrong about that.
It's a natural thing. It's like people use bathrooms. Some people do it standing
Sure,
up.
sure. Of course they do. All right, so we're going to have one final question
Don't be
for you.
condescending.
How can I not be? You tell me a story like that. You tell all these people a story. How okay.
It's a
Anyway.
true story.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I
Let's
thought
see.
you were my friend.
What is it like to have a head that is so big?
It's great. I love it, man. People.
Now the question is, was your head always this size, or did it?
No, I
Have a
saw
growth
baby
spurt?
pictures, right? I showed you baby
Yep.
pictures. My head was very, very big, even as a child. And
So your mother must have had a little trouble with that head coming out.
I didn't ask her about that, but I'm sure
You never
she had
did?
6 kids.
You never asked her about
We
your
all
head
had
coming
big
out?
heads. Everybody's
Not
got. Chelsea
everybody's
has a
got-
big head. Chelsea's just a little bit smaller than mine.
It doesn't seem that big.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem big at all, actually. I guess you have to have long hair or something. Maybe it's if you had longer hair. it'd
What
seem
happened
less
was, when I was like 8 years old, I was in Mount Arlington with my aunt.
big. Is there a story for the big head?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she pushed me. We were on a swing with my brothers, and she pushed and she pushed, and then she pushed really hard, and I went over the swing and on top. I
Who?
went
Wait, who
o-
pushed?
My Aunt Gabby,
Okay.
and fell flat on my head. So that's why I have a square head. That's why if I buy a hat, like if I get a hat, it doesn't fit because I need a square hat. So it always has to be on an angle because I have 4 points here.
I didn't know you had. I didn't know
Yeah.
you had 4 points to your
Yeah,
head.
so I can't have a regular hat. I have to have like a square hat, but they don't make square hats.
We have
So
to
I fell
have to see
actually
about that.
flat onto my head.
Well, when you make your fortune, you'll have to see about them getting you square hats.
And they used to call me fathead in high school. After they called me wise, they called me fathead.
Wise and fathead. Well, you know, we have certainly learned a lot today about you,
Yeah,
and
all good stuff.
all good stuff. I think everybody should know that Ask Roy will be streaming again live in 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to do Ustream.
Yes.
Ustream, so we'll be streaming live in 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to do a couple more YouTube videos, so look for that. We'll be doing another one next week. We'll be doing Ustream after that. We'll make sure to give you the dates for that, so tune in.
Where are we gonna go next time?
I don't know. We're going to think of a really interesting location for you. And we're
Stacy's
going
in
to,
charge of shoot development and shoot location, right?
yes, and our wonderful Star Rosenkrantz is doing our technical work. Thank you, Star. So look for that. And any other words? Roy's going to be on Chopped. When's that airing, Roy?
It'll be in June of 2013.
Which is 2 months from now of this year. I don't know why you had to call out 2013 as
Well,
if that's
some people don't know
in
what
the
year it
future.
is. Maybe it'll be 2014.
Anyway, so that'll be June of this year. Look for him on Chopped, and also on Chelsea Lately. He'll be making his usual appearances.
And we'll be having guests too come to Ask Roy, so we can.
Yes,
Rip
we'll be
them a new
having
asshole.
guest stars. And mentioning our guest star, I'm going to step out, and Roy's good friend, our Gagent, Michael Broussard, who's got, what, 4 books now that are coming out?
Yes, 4 or 5 big books.
4 or 5 big books that are coming out. Several books on the New York Times bestseller list. Michael will be joining Roy, and he will take you guys out. Okay.
Come on, Michael. Michael's my best friend. I met him like 3.5 years ago. At first, I wasn't too pleased with him, but he sort of grew on me,
I wasn't pleased with you either.
and we sort of got along really well. I was going through a breakup, and he was there for me when I was.
When I first met you, I couldn't stand you.
Why is that?
I met you in Cabo, and you were the weirdest person I ever met. And
Because?
I thought, I wanted away from this person.
Actually, I'm not a weird person. I'm a pretty mellow person. But you know, the first look, when everybody meets me for the first time, they think I'm really awkward.
You are awkward.
But after 3.5 years, I'm not awkward anymore, right?
Well, how come, if you're not awkward, then how come we were at Lisa Vanderpump's party and Ken said, would you do me a favor and get away from me?
That's because I met him for the first time, and he thought I was awkward. If I hung out with him,
You
for
are
3
awkward, but you're great, and I love you, but you're awkward.
Okay. So Michael, you know about this show. This show is called
I
Ask
don't know
Roy.
anything about the show.
This show's Ask Roy. People
I
call
hear
in.
about the show all the time, but I don't know anything about it.
People call in and ask questions.
Like what kind of questions?
Questions about life.
Like what kind of questions?
Sexual questions.
Oh, okay.
Life coach
I
questions.
thought you were a chef.
Food questions.
All right.
Just general questions about life. Can you pay attention?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's why it's called Ask Roy. I wasn't a very good student. I was a C student, but I was very
That's
wise.
because you smoke pot all the time.
Are you going to bring me down,
Yeah,
girl?
pretty
Why are you
much.
bringing me down?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Somebody has to.
So one of the questions today, or one of the questions that we have is, why are women the new men? You got an answer for that?
Yeah, I do have an answer for that because they make their own money now and they own their sexuality and they like to fuck as much as men do. And they probably fuck more than men do. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. And so they have a little bit more power, or they have the power to make men's lives a little bit more difficult?
I think they just are owning their own sexuality. Like they're owning it.
Yeah.
Like used to was like being in the closet. Like what is it like, you know, an angel in the bed in the morning and a whore in the bed at night, or what's that saying?
That's called Madonna whore complex, isn't it?
I hate Madonna. I hate her.
No, seriously.
I seriously hate her. I think she's
We're not
disgusting.
talking about that's just
If
a complex.
I see her in a fucking pair of fishnet hose with her legs spread on Vanity Fair one more time, I think I will fucking kill myself.
Okay, we know that you don't like Madonna. Not a lot of
it's not-
people do.
I can't stand the fishnet hose and 50-something years old with her legs spread. Same with Cher. At a certain point, old women shouldn't wear fishnet hose.
That's true.
I
agree
probably
with
shouldn't
that.
wear hoodies either, but
Well, you want to tell us about the time that, remember, we were in Italy and we were at Harry's Bar. Was it Harry's Bar?
Oh, fuck you.
And we were there all day drinking on vacation. And I had to go get a haircut because my hair was growing at a pretty rapid rate.
You
in
never
Italy.
found a haircut. They wouldn't cut your hair.
So I was wearing a lady's hat and I was walking the streets of Venice trying to find a barber, but they wouldn't let me in because I was wearing a lady's hat. So I had to come back to the bar and Michael was
It was
still
like
drinking.
a pilgrim hat. It was like this big black thing.
And Michael was still drinking at the bar. But they kicked him out at like 5 o'clock because you have to.
6:30.
At 6:30 because you have to have pants on. You could wear shorts during the day, but you had to have pants on after 6:30. And he was drinking there for 3 hours. And then they kicked him out and
Well,
he
the drinks
raised a
were
big stink. And
I was drinking for 3 hours, but the drinks were small. It was
yeah, and the bill was ridiculous, and they said you gotta go, and he just spent $700, and they're like, you gotta get out of here because you got shorts on. So what did you do?
I went to a kiosk outside and I bought a sweatshirt, and I asked him if he had any scissors, and he said yes, and so I cut the sleeves off. So then I put the sleeves on my legs, and then put my shorts on top of it.
So he made your own leggings. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
And they were jail leggings, weren't they?
they were black and white stripes.
They looked like prisoner leggings. And so he was back inside. When I came back from trying to get my haircut, which I didn't get, he was back inside the bar with jailhouse leggings, sitting at the bar like some kind of idiot.
No, I wasn't sitting at the bar. I walked back in, and the bar staff started clapping because they thought I was like a hero for being such an idiot. And then they go, we'll serve you another drink now that you've got your leggings on. And I'm like, fuck you. I don't want a fucking drink. I've already spent enough money in here. And that was that.
And it was good times, no?
Yeah, it's fun.
So what do you got to say for yourself besides that?
I have to say that I moved a conference call to do this stupid show with you.
Yeah, we have to thank Michael for showing up today because we changed our Ask Roy appearance. We were supposed to do it at 3, but then Stacy rescheduled it, and I told Michael inappropriately it's 12, and he had to schedule a conference call, so I appreciate your stopping by, Michael. That was
Okay, good. Am I
very
finished?
sweet. No, you're not finished yet. We still have to answer the questions from the,
Well, who's
from the
where's
audience.
Where's the audience?
Audience is out front there. You see them? You see them over there?
I don't think those plants are going to be asking any questions.
No, seriously, Michael.
But
What about women, and how come I can't find the right woman?
because you like 20-year-old girls.
That's not true. I mean, everybody likes 20-year-old girls. I would rather have a woman that is
If
there
you'd
all
rather
the
have a woman
time.
that's available, then why don't you go for that woman instead of going after the 20-something-year-olds? Like, are you fucking kidding me? You say, that's what all men do. They all say they want this relationship, but none of them really do. They all act like they want to get in this relationship, but none of them prove it by being in a relationship. They sit around and talk about it all the time.
By the way, what is your boyfriend?
Well,
Seriously, how old is your boyfriend?
I haven't seen his driver's license, but I think he's 27.
And how old are you?
I've seen my driver's license, and I'll be 52 in August.
Okay, so it's 52-27.
I
I just
bet-
wanted to make sure about that.
But I didn't move him here from fucking Miami and give him a job and work with him every day while I'm having sex with him. I mean, I see him like once a month, maybe.
Okay.
It's not a relationship.
No, but what is it about LA that it's hard to find a relationship?
It's geographical.
Is it easier to find a relationship in Texas than it is in LA?
Yeah, it's easier to find a relationship anywhere than LA.
Why is that?
Geographical. It's too hard. If you live in West Hollywood and somebody lives in Venice, how are you going to get together?
But what happens if you find a woman in Venice?
Oh, nobody in Venice wants a relationship.
Why?
Because they're all on the beach having fun and having sex and
So it's all singles?
yeah, pretty much.
What about the marina?
Well, I live at the Oakwood, so I don't really think I've got a good, I mean, I just don't think anybody really wants a relationship in Los Angeles. They say they do, but they don't. And maybe I sound jaded. I don't know.
Well, we appreciate your take on everything, Michael. It's very refreshing.
Or refreshing or jaded?
It's refreshing and jaded.
Oh, okay.
But that's what we're looking for here on Ask Roy.
Well, I guess you got it.
Okay.
All right, I'm done.
So we're going to wrap it up. We want to thank Michael for stopping by and offering his take on everything. And what are we doing tonight? Are we doing anything?
yeah, I'm going to go home and take a shower and get changed and get ready to do something.
I thought you take baths.
Well, you know, I do take baths, but
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. So let's say goodbye. Thanks for
Bye. My
thanks for
attention-
stopping by.
my attention span just kicked out or in, so I think I'm done.
Are you gonna get in the pool?
No, it's too cold. I gotta go.
Be
So,
careful going home.
Are
Did
you
take-
gonna come over later?
Yes, I'll be
Okay.
over later.
Like in an hour or so?
Yes, right after I return the mics.
All right. Oh, the microphone?
Yeah, you can go.
All right.
Just get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Bye, Michael.
Bye. I'm tired.
You're always tired.